Hello, this is Mr. Sato. Let's talk about literary value. When I was in grad school, I looked for a definition of literary value because without criteria, it's really easy to fall into snobbery and lean into your prejudices. Romance novels are just trash. They can't be serious literature. Or comic books, or rap lyrics, movies, or genre fiction. I couldn't find a clear definition anywhere, so I made my own. Here's what I came up with. I call it the COLV, the characteristics of literary value. As you can see, the criteria are divided into two main branches, content and form. I have left out any term that can't be applied to all genres of literature. For example, plot doesn't pertain to most poetry, and meter doesn't relate to fiction, so I left them out of this simplified flowchart. I'll start from the most specific criteria and work my way up to the larger, overarching characteristics. Content is all the things the words mean. Content is generally what we talk about when we talk about what a book is about. That includes the plot or topic, characterization, setting, POV, historical context, that sort of thing. Genre is part of content too. So if a book is about Abraham Lincoln killing vampires, it's part of a vampire genre, and that's part of its content. But nothing has literary value just because it's a certain genre, so it's not on the chart. And I mentioned historical context. By context, I'm talking about the extent to which the literary work informs the reader about historical, socio- or psychological, political, ethnic, or even hypothetical contexts. Setting is the predominant aspect of the kind of context I'm talking about. For example, by reading Moby Dick, I can learn, aside from whatever else is happening in the story, what seafaring life in the 19th century was like. Reading Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, I can see the world through the cultural lens of a society that is very different from my own. The Igbo characters in that novel have different values, different societal rules, different ways of defining a family. All of that is fascinating, and all of it is cultural context. Context is closely related to what I call the illumination of a human experience. This is the function that allows a reader to imaginatively know what it would be like to have experiences other than the ones that they have actually experienced. For example, in Black Boy by Richard Wright, I can get a sense of what it would have been like to have been a young black man in the American South in the 1910s and 20s after slavery, but decades before the modern civil rights movement. The last, and some would say the most important aspect of content, is theme. Theme is the insight into life or the human experience that can be found in the literary work by an alert reader. Theme is often thought of as the life lesson the literary work teaches the reader. Much of the best literature contains multiple or layered themes. The simple theme found in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet is that love is many different things to many different people. A more complex one is that innocent people can get hurt by hatred that saturates a culture, even if those innocent people, like Romeo, Juliet, and Friar Lawrence, didn't hate or want to harm anyone else. Hate floats in the atmosphere and hurts people regardless of who they are or what they've done. That was true then, and it's true now. So theme is usually universal to some degree, which means it is true for society in general, for people in general, not just for a few individuals, or just the characters in a particular literary work, or just the time period in which it was set. It's a fundamental truth. In my view, those three things are the aspects of a literary work's content that contribute to its literary value. In part 2, we'll talk about form. Please come back for that.